know the reports out there with Caleb. What can you tell us about that situation and where y'all move next with that position?
Yeah, he just made a decision to fully focus on his business, and we wish him nothing but the best. He worked his tail off here and was awesome, and I'll still continue to be, close with him. He's a good dude. Other than that, yeah, we'll elevate. As of right now, the plan is to elevate Troy Clonch. I'm still evaluating that, but it's going to have to happen quick, and that's probably the direction we're going to move. This is pretty fresh, and I think it kind of allows us to transition into baseball seamlessly, and Troy does a really good job. So,
will you take any kind of increased role with the hitting?
Yeah, I've got a couple questions on that. I'm not quite sure what the confusion is, but I took over the hitting this fall. That was part of one of the changes I made. So from a hitting standpoint, nothing has changed or will change in the cage, and the only thing that changed was me stepping back into it like I had done in the past, and taking on that crease role. It's a huge reason why I brought in Cliff to take things like base running off my plate so I could fully focus my time on running the team and the organization and the hitting in the offense. So from a baseball standpoint, we're in a good shape.
How long was maybe this percolating, or did you know that this could be an option of him stepping down?
Yeah, it was a decision he's kind of went back and forth on for a few days, or he might have been thinking about it for some time, but it's just kind of what he went with, and fully support him.
Why Troy, and what would he bring to that role, you think?
Yeah, I just don't. I think the big part is, like, Troy, I think, is a stud. Like, he's a superstar coach in the making. He's someone, honestly, that probably won't be here very long at some point, because that's when you have younger coaches like that. And he has shown the ability and aptitude to learn and be an awesome dude. And I just trust what he does. I don't think it's I don't think bringing someone in here from a coaching baseball standpoint at this point is something I necessarily want to do. So I think Troy is fully capable, and people reached out to Troy this winter to try to hire him at Division I and professional baseball. So Troy is highly sought after, and we're lucky to have him here.
Day one of year two, what does today feel different compared to last season for you?
Oh, day one just of the spring? Feel great, man. I mean, I think a big thing is I walked down there and we got a bunch of healthy players. Hungry players, and guys that got after it and had a really good winter. Like, we really challenged them to, when you lose players for a month, like, it is on them to come back ready. And, I walked in my office last Monday, and I looked out the window, and it looked like they were holding their own practice. And that's not something we made them do. Like, they're out there running together, taking ground balls together, and in the cage together. So I just think we have a collective group of guys that know we're on a mission, and there's no one going to get in our way of that mission.
As you had a chance to maybe look back at the fall in totality, what was your biggest takeaway of maybe the growth and progress y'all were able to make throughout that fall season?
I just thought it was a very mature approach for day-to-day, from top to bottom, older guys to younger guys, and older guys bringing younger guys along. I got some really good leaders that have been through all types of different situations in this program, and we did a really good job of bringing in not only really good freshman players, but high-character freshman guys. So biggest takeaways is we got a really mature group that's ready to go, and I think you saw that in the two scrimmages and how clean we played against some good baseball teams, and just from a toughness standpoint, like, we want to play tough. We want to be gritty, and I want you to know when you leave, like, how those guys, like, they get after it. And I think you felt that.
Different looking pitching staff is just guys in different roles. So what are some of the positional battles and slot battles that are going on throughout the preseason here?
Yeah, from a pitching standpoint, I mean, Shane Sadeo and Weston Moss, they're, I'm pretty confident they're our top two guys, but like Aiden Sims, Freshcorn, McCoy, they're right there with them. So I'd be foolish to say I don't think one of those two or both of them are going to start on the weekend. I think there's a high probability of that, but those other guys are pushing them. It's going to have to be earned. When Shane's right, Shane's as good as it gets from the left side, like, period. From what professional scouts think to what my eyes tell me, like, that's as good as it gets. And I'd make an argument that last year that our best pitcher on the mound was Weston Moss, and he pitched starter-like innings because of how we used him. So he's fully prepared for that role, and the strides Sims has made, Freshcorn made at the end of last year, and same thing with, Caden McCoy, who pitched the last month of a season with a torn MCL, or meniscus, and that was the best, I think, month he had pitching. So feel really good about that. We have some young guys that have stepped up, and some guys we brought into the program, like Darden, and just, a lot of guys I think are going to make a contribution, but we got to get it down to, 7, 8, 9 guys, and that's who we need.
How has Gavin Grovic looked as he comes back from that injury, and how has his offseason been?
Great. It was a definite process. Like it did not look like this. It was a lot of ups and downs, and I mean he essentially hurt that shoulder game 2 of his freshman year. Like keep that in mind. He wasn't fully healthy. Now he was playing with cortisone, so it's not like it was 100% affecting him. But he missed a whole fall last year. We had a few weeks into the winter, and then he was out, so he missed a good chunk of hitting. So it really, like, we all collectively, and mainly him, like just worked really, really hard. He had to have some patience. We had a plan of steps we wanted to take on not only like mechanical changes. Like I knew he needed to get to point A to D, but we didn't want to go right there. Like it was just a plan, and he stuck with it. And we had some frustrating times, but as I look at him right now, his body and shape, he is 110% and ready to go. So he put in a lot of work with his dad back home over the winter, stayed in a lot of communication, but it has been a long path, and I'm super proud of him up to this point.
How do you plan to work your pitchers versus your hitters here in the early going? Are there going to be any kind of limits on what you do with your pitching staff? I mean, now this is a year-round sport. It's not like if you have guys do their business during December,
Yeah.
they should be at a higher level. But how do you plan that?
Yeah, pitching has changed, right? It used to be, and the philosophy has changed through studying and call it science, whatever you want to call it, but pitchers don't have like a huge shutdown period like they used to. Back when I was in college and when I started coaching, you'd send them away for break and it'd be like shutdown time. These guys continue to throw. It's just kind of how they're brought up now in these facilities, and they're wired to do that. We could hit live this weekend from where we believe they're at. We're just not going to do that. We're still going to roll into this first week a little bit slow, and we'll be doing live at bats at the end of next week. So, and obviously there's still a build-up. Shane, Weston, Sims, whoever it may be, like they're not going out and doing 7 innings at a time. They'll roll into 1, 2, 3, and you kind of build up into the season. JK does a really good job of putting them in those positions where they are at a good spot when we head into week 1.
From what y'all lost in the lineup last year, how important is it having a guy like Gavin back, who now is a veteran guy, an experienced guy?
It's huge. I mean, he's a SEC Freshman of the Year. The 1 year he's played college baseball, he's a massive hit to us last year. So it's a massive gain, right? We didn't have him, and now we have him. And adding guys like Akopian and Caden Sorrell's another year better, and it's huge. It's huge from a leadership standpoint. It's huge from a cultural standpoint. Like Gavin does a lot of things besides baseball and hitting, but from a pure baseball and talent standpoint, there's not really a lineup in the country he probably want to hit 1 through 4 in. So we're super lucky to have him.
And onto that with Akopi, and just what has it been like having another talent like that in the clubhouse where you guys?
He's great, man. I love having him here. He's ultra competitive, and again, another super talented guy. But and they know this. Like, you can be talented, but they work hard too. They work hard. They get after it, and they know they got to results will come as long as they stick with their process. And I think those are two guys that in a draft year, I think you get challenged with that a bit. But those are two guys that I'm not afraid to put that on, because I think they can handle it.
How was Sadeo's kind of recovery been like, and then how big is that for a team to have a guy like Sadeo decide to come back?
It's been great. So he threw to live hitters the last 3 weeks. It's like just a private session, no one out here. It was Sadeo versus Gavin, and a couple other guys here and there, just getting Gavin some more at bats and getting him caught up. So it was really productive, and he's good. Like he could have pitched more than that, but we kind of want to dial him down and bring him back up. But it's huge. Like Shane Sadeo, I believe is the real deal, and I think he will be the real deal. It was a challenge to get him to come to school. Like, even not pitching for a year, like, he had a lot of opportunities to leave this program and go to professional baseball, and he wanted to be back here. So Shane is as competitive as it gets, and you don't get worse by having that guy on your team.
Similarly, just how about Josh Stewart and just kind of his progression back and what you hope he can bring to the table for your bullpen?
Yeah, he's again, same thing kind of with Gavin, like a slower progression, but before we left, he got up to close to 100%, and then his last few, he just got cleared by the doctor. He's good and ready to go. So right now we are whole, and it's our job to do our best to keep it there. Obviously things happen, but again, I'm not bringing up that because of maybe the past or what injury-wise. Like, every single college baseball coach in the country wants to stay healthy. So right now we're healthy and whole, and we want to keep it that way.
What's maybe one thing that's kind of stuck with you about last season that you think could improve this year?
I just think an overall approach day to day and how we play baseball. Like, I think the simple fact of, like, and much is made to do it last year, and I completely understand that, but we got to play better baseball. And it's my job to put us in positions to play better baseball. Period. Cleaner, tougher, longer, do little things you have to do to win the games, and it's my job and the coach's job to put these guys in position. We put them in the position. They have to execute. They execute. We'll win more than we lose, period. So that's the biggest adjustment that needs to be made.
As a Hoosier, what's the next Monday night look like for you?
I tell you what, man, I wish the Aggies were playing. But I growing up in Indiana, and if you look at the record, and I honestly, this is bad, but I'm a Fairweather fan right now. Like, it was the history, and them not winning is crazy to see what they're doing now. So it's pretty cool. So I definitely want them to win. That was a definite, if you've ever been there, which I know you haven't, very hungry fan base for something like that. They just needed something to root for. So it's a pretty cool, pretty remarkable turnaround. I think you can learn a lot from that.